Ah, the race started. Well, it's about to start soon. Both runners just did a dot ready. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rossi123, and I will be your commentator for this top 16 round losers bracket between Galamoz and Mr. Shasta. All right, I'm just bringing up PBs for these runners, and let's see what I got here. All right, so it looks like we have Galamoz with a 51-minute PB in game time, and Mr. Shasta at a 49-minute PB. So it looks like there's a 2-minute gap between the runners as far as PB goes, and in my opinion, a 2-minute gap is, in a race, it's still anyone's game. As you know, Metroid Fusion is full of RNG, and enemies in the game hit very hard, so it could go either way for both runners. And it looks like both runners decided to use English for this race. English is about 3 minutes slower. Yeah, 3 minutes slower in-game RTA, because of the fact that English text is much slower than Japanese text. All right, so it looks like, well, actually, no. I think both runners are actually neck and neck or even synced. It looks like Galamoz is in the lead. However, Galamoz has looks to be like a 5-second. Yeah, the timers aren't synced. So while it looks like Galamoz is in the lead, Galamoz is actually about 4 or 5 seconds. If you take that away, then you're on the same time as Shasta. Okay, so there's really not much going on for the beginning of the race until the missile split. Both runners should be kind of sort of optimized when they pick their missiles up. As far as platforming and tech smashing, so there's really no big difference here. The first lead decider is going to be at the eye door coming up. So a lot of work for these two runners. They've played quite a number of games already. Let's see. Galamoz has played 1, 2. This is Galamoz's third tournament race, while Mr. Shasta has already played. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. So this will be Mr. Shasta's fourth tournament race. So for both runners, I think saying that they have the jitters, I don't think is an excuse anymore. They played enough games so that they can kind of overcome that feeling. So maybe we'll see a tighter race here. We'll see more optimized movement for the two runners. I don't think Mr. Shasta got a roll, so that's good for him. However, it did not connect any of the doubles. Galamoz also with no roll. And let's see if he can get double here. And he does. So because of the eye doors, like I said earlier, this is the lead decider early game. Mr. Shasta has a considerable lead now. Keep in mind that his timer is about 4 or 5 seconds behind. So his lead is actually a little bit wider than you think it is. Alright, at this point there could be a deviation in the route. Runners may opt to pick up the main deck missiles here for extra missiles coming into Sector 1. It looks like Mr. Shasta decides to do that. Let's see if Galamoz is thinking the same. Galamoz decides to skip. So Galamoz, because he decided to skip, now has caught up with Mr. Shasta. Looks like it's synced. But once again, a 5-second lead to Shasta. Picking up the main deck missiles will cost you about 5 seconds, give or take, and it will pay for itself later when you fight Notori. Don't have much to say about the runners. I know that Galamoz also plays Super Metroid. I remember watching him in a double anti-bingo race. I'm not sure how he did. Mr. Shasta is Mr. Shasta, the West Coast hero of speed gaming. He has a lot of speed gaming under his belt. Various games. It's kind of like the Shasta brand, you know, has various flavors. Mr. Shasta for speedrunning has various games. So Sector 1 is all about missile management and health management. If you're really good at doing that, then you should not have to worry about missiles. That is because the last room, the climb with all the pirates will give you a ton of missiles if you have full health. So it's really just health management here, making sure you're not taking any damage so that you can guarantee 6 green X drops, which equates to 12 missiles. Both runners are at 84 health. However, Mr. Shasta picking up the main deck missiles will have a slight advantage here. If it does go south, then both runners are low on missiles. Galamoz opting to save a missile there by not killing the crab and jumping over it, which is a good idea if you're unsure about your health right now. The stabilizers will guarantee a green missile drop, so it really only costs 1 missile to kill it, because you shoot 3 and you pick up the green X, which will give you 2. Having 8 missiles, Galamoz right now, will pretty much ensure that he'll get 3 missiles for the Idor, because it takes 3 missiles at least to kill 3 pirates on the left, unless the last pirate decides to jump over. But it doesn't matter, he picks up Green Nexus and both runners are fine for the Idor. if you really wanted to optimize this, you would want to have at least 7 missiles, um, because it takes 4 missiles to kill the charge beam core, and 3 missiles to kill the eye door here, without having to pick up the X. So having set 7 missiles will save you like a half second, and the half second coming from waiting for the red X. Looks like Galamoz is able to turn the tides here. Shasta having terrible RNG for the door, and now Galamoz is in the lead. Unable to connect the first double for Galamoz or the second. Neither has Shasta. Okay. So it looks like 4 missiles, or 4 rounds for Galamoz and 4 rounds for Shasta. So no big difference there. The later half of Sector 1 is a lot of platforming. You'll see a bunch of wall jumps here. So Shasta right on top of that frog, but not taking any hits for some reason. We have decent platforming for Galamoz, as well as Shasta. I think Shasta caught up. Oh, unable to get the flare shot for the stabilizer. Shasta might have to be careful with his energy here. Sector 2 is known for having a lot of Zoros in your way, and they do a lot of damage, so you kind of want to make sure you're at good health when you get there, just in case you get hit by one of them. Alright, making our way to the nav room. I think that... let's see. Shasta might be ahead by like maybe 1 or 2 seconds. The unsynced sync. Like I said earlier, Galamoz having a 51. What was it? Yeah, 51, and Shasta having a 49. Once again, so Mr. Shasta got the 49 during the tournament, I think. So it's fairly recent. That means that maybe Mr. Shasta might still be averaging a 48, or I'm sorry, a 50 or 51. So while Mr. Shasta does have a 49 PB, he may still kind of have the pace of a 50 or 51. We'll have to see here. Maybe one of these runners might have like short bursts of optimal platforming, or even just good RNG that might help them kind of solidify a lead here. But as of right now, it's still anyone's game. Oh, Shasta unable to get the ledge grab quickly. When you kill the first Zoro on the floor there, its X moves up to the wall where Mr. Shasta was. So if you're not fast enough, that Zoro will spawn before you can get up there. Okay, I think Mr. Shasta now definitely has the lead. Galamoz having slight platforming problems. However, Mr. Shasta is about 3 hits away from dying if he's not careful. Alright, both runners are now picking up the bombs. Bombs are very useless. Unlike other Metroid games, in which bombs can help you access certain places that the game might not intend you to, through a infinite bomb jump, or otherwise just using bombs to get up in other places. In Fusion, bombs are only meant for breaking bomb blocks, really. There's no other use for it. The one only time that you use a bomb jump is in a 100% run. Once again, Mr. Shasta is still dangerously low on health here. Red Zoros do 45 damage, so right now it's 2 hits and he's out. So you'll really have to be careful here. See if he can get the wall jump here. He does. Galamoz not able to get the wall jump, taking a hit from the red pancake-looking thing, or whatever it is. It's the thing that you use to do the clip in Super Metroid. I don't know its name, but it's that thing. Shasta opting to morph while under the spikes. So for that particular side hopper, every time you shoot at it, it will shoot a spike right back at you. So if you're not paying attention, the spike does a lot of damage. Let's see if Mr. Shasta picks up the E-Tank here. Okay, he does. Galamoz as well. The E-Tank is more for safety, because while you can beat the game with picking up just one E-Tank, the more E-Tanks that you have, the safer the run is. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of the enemies in the game do lots of damage to you, so if you're not careful, you could easily die. Picking up the extra E-Tank is kind of insurance. Looks like Shasta is getting pretty good RNG here. I can't say the same for Galamoz. I think Shasta got max for the last round, so hopefully Galamoz will be able to catch up here. Okay, Galamoz got one less jump for the last round. Shasta getting the double-double, but no sweet spot. Let's see if Galamoz... Oh, okay, Galamoz unable to connect the first double, but still picks up the second and is still able to keep the run fairly close. No, I'm not talking about the ouch, the slimy looking things. The ouch is the red spiky things that you see on Galamoz's screen right now. But I was talking about the things that jump at you. Don't know its name. Alright, looks like Mr. Shasta's lead is growing here, and that's probably because of the Zazabi fight, where Shasta had slightly better RNG, but also connected on the double-double. Galamoz will have to get really good platforming here if he wants to catch up. So the room that Galamoz is in right now, the wall jumps here are deceptively difficult because of the gap in between the two walls. The way wall jumping works here in Fusion is that you have to make sure that Samus's bottom of Samus's hitbox is touching a wall. Unlike other Metroid games, notably Super Metroid, where any part of Samus's hitbox must be touching a wall in order for you to wall jump, it's different in Fusion. So you have to make sure that the bottom the bottom part of Samus is actually touching something you can wall jump. If you don't, then Sam will just drop. That's why that room is kind of tricky. Because if you jump too high, then you have Samus's foot basically in the space, and you won't be able to wall jump. All right, both runners making their way to Sector 4, the Aqua Sector, AQA. Uh, a lot of electrified water here, but the runner shouldn't have any problems with it having full health. I think they're going to take about a maximum of 20 damage out of the water, so it's really no big deal. All right, there's a fair bit of platforming here. Enemies standing on There are enemies on platforms that you have to shoot without stopping. So let's see if both of the runners can execute that. There's also a little bit of wall jumping and using a pseudo screw attack to kill certain enemies. Oh, Shasta getting hit by a crab there and is forced to climb the ladder. Climbing ladders is very slow in this game, so you want to do your best to avoid doing that. Because Mr. Shasta did climb the ladder, Galamoz is able to catch up just slightly through better platforming. And we'll just have to see here if Galamoz can continue to creep up. Shasta having issues. Oh, and he falls through the combo blocks. This is definitely Galamoz's chance to catch up. All right, it's going to come down to Idor RNG once again. Let's see if we can turn the table here once more. I'm going to count Shasta's Idor RNG. Let's see. 1. Oh, and Galamoz gets 0. Nice. Both runners opting to pick up the red X there. It's a slight time loss, but it's more of a safety factor than it is. You know, if you're not comfortable with the amount of missiles you have or the health that you have, you may opt to pick up a red X. Shasta getting the 2-cycle, so he's going to save time here. Galamoz also getting the 2-cycle. All right, both runners have actually connected on their doubles, so it's still a close race. Definitely still a close race. Galamoz getting the instant low height. Sometimes runners will have to repeatedly mash jump in order to trigger the Shine Spark. Galamoz was lucky that he was able to trigger it without spending too much time jumping. Galamoz might actually consider conserving missiles here. As soon as you get the speed booster upgrade, you want to make sure that you conserve missiles, because the next boss fight, the security robot or box, does not have any red X's that come before the fight. So you want to make sure you have enough missiles before you start fighting the box. The problem is that you also don't get very many yellow or green X's on your way there, at least for the speedrun route. So you want to make sure, absolutely sure, that you conserve missiles. Galamoz is able to get the low height. Once again, he really should consider 16. It may not be enough. And it's like the biggest reason why you want to conserve missiles for the box fight. One, you want to make sure you have missiles to kill box, but two, you also want to make sure you have enough missiles for Sector 6. So missile management for Sector 6 actually starts at Sector 4. Shasta is very good for missile count here because he picked up the main deck missiles. I don't foresee Mr. Shasta having any issues for the missile barrier at Sector 6. However, for Galamoz, it's questionable. Galamoz might consider saving missiles for the 3 side hoppers just before the super missile upgrade. Maybe using another flare shot, or consider jumping over one of them. But 16 is dangerously low. I believe the minimum is 18. Let's see if Shasta can get the frame perfect shine charge here. Does not. And we'll take a look at Galamoz. About to attempt the same thing. Does not either. Very difficult trick. You are afforded 1 frame to store a shine charge as you're falling, and it's a very difficult trick. Some runners might opt to do a pause buffer so they can get it, but in an RTA, I don't think it's feasible to do so. RTA or race, that is. Here comes another shine break. Oh, Shasta just a little bit too far. Let's see if Galamoz can do the shine break here. And he gets it. So Galamoz will catch up just a little bit here. Okay, Galamoz is actually doing the flare shot on all 3, so now he's perfectly fine for the box fight. Not sure if I said flare charge or shine charge. If I said shine charge, I meant flare charge. Alright, let's look at Mr. Shasta's box fight here. Oh, he misses the opener, which is going to have box run around. This is definitely a chance for Galamoz to catch up if he can get the perfect or even a good fight. Mr. Shasta right now will want to kind of bait box to the right so that he doesn't waste more time with his death animation. Galamoz getting the perfect box fight, so I think the lead has been cut dramatically now, from what was almost a 20-second lead to maybe 10 seconds, so almost in half. Now we have both runners with more than enough missiles to destroy the missile barrier that will be at Sector 6. you typically want to make sure that you have 3 missiles, at least 3 missiles leaving Sector 3, in order for you to break the missile barrier at Sector 6. It's not mandatory. Um, like you won't waste too much time, but uh, having 3 missiles is the fastest way. And the backup strats, there are 2 backup strats for this if you don't have 3 missiles. First backup strat is to do a shine spark through the missile barrier, and then the second and slower backup strat is to just get the missile expansion early. Mr. Shasta venting his frustration over the box fight in the chat. There's really not much to say about Sector 6 before getting the Varia suit. It's fairly empty. The only enemies that you really have to worry about are the blue X's, and they are predictable. And there are only 2 rooms in which you might have to be careful about the blue X. But the runners are experienced enough that I don't think that either of them are going to get hit here. Mr. Shasta going for the bomb just before picking up the E-tank. One thing to note that if you plant the bomb just before you pick up an item, the fuse timer is still active and the bomb will actually still explode while you're picking the item up. So it saves you time. It saves you from having to wait. It's good to multitask, I guess, and pick something up while waiting for something. Shasta taking it very carefully here, making SAX take a few steps out. The optimal way to do that is to wait for SAX to take about 2 steps. I think even 1 step is good, but then you still run the risk of SAX shooting diagonally down at you and actually killing you. So Galamoz getting the 0 beam here, and now the lead has changed once more. So that's 3 lead changes in this race. I think Shasta had a 3 or 4 beam. Galamoz with the not quite perfect fight here, but he still recovers. Shasta getting the perfect fight and the initial double. So once again, the lead has changed. Well, we'll find out here if Shasta's able to get another double. If he does, then the lead will definitely change. Oh, he's not. But then Shasta has cut the lead down because of the Idor. "34 minutes in the race, and it is still anyone's game. It is still fairly neck and neck right now. Galamoz not opting to go for the wall jump there. Doing a wall jump there will save you some time. As I mentioned earlier, climbing ladders is very slow. Galamoz having trouble with some pesky bugs. Oh no, Shasta did not kill the ouch. He's gonna have to wait. And also gets bad buffer RNG while trying to exit this room. This is the worst room in Sector 6 because you never know where the buffers are going to be. You kind of have to react more than predict. Okay, both runners opting to get the missile tank out of Sector 6. Shasta has 5 more missiles than Galamoz at the moment. That is 5 more maximum missiles. Leaving Sector 6, both runners will now be heading towards Sector 5. Since they both got the barrier suit, they're now, well, Adam's talking about it right now. Let's have Adam say it for us. Okay, so if you didn't catch that extremely fast tech smashing, Adam is now directing Samus to go to Sector 5 because Samus has now acquired the Varia suit, protecting her from extreme temperatures. And I think Galamoz actually has a 1 second lead. Oh, okay, it was mentioned in chat. Thank you. Yes, Galamoz has a 1 second lead at the moment. There may be some certain areas in Sector 5 where the lead might change because the waivers in Sector 5, the enemies that kind of do a up and down motion while they move, could be in different areas, and if the runners are not if they're not aware, they could get hit by waivers and be set back. Being in Sector 5 also is missile management because you want to make sure that you have a minimum of, I believe, 16 missiles when you leave Sector 5 to prepare for emergency. Having any less than that will kind of put you at risk for not having any missiles to freeze the side hopper just before the eye door, and it'll slow you down that way. So both runners getting hit by at least 1 waiver here, so I don't think that the lead change is going to happen. Shasta actually taking 2 hits, so Galamoz's lead is now extended by maybe 2 or 3 seconds. Like the chat said, 3 seconds. I'm so good at this. Taking a hit from the enemy, depending on how the hit happens, if it knocks you back, you'll lose about 1 or 2 seconds. But there can also be beneficial damage boosts, just like in Super Metroid, except not as exaggerated as Super Metroid. Most notably in Sector 3, emergency in Sector 3, that is. If you take a hit from the flame pillar and it makes you damage boost to the left, then that is actually an advantage for you. Galamoz having a little bit of trouble climbing out of that ice room, and it looks like Mr. Shasta is now in the lead. Oh no, 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 no. I don't think Galamoz picked up the ice missiles. I don't. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another secret key in the tournament. I don't think he picked up the ice missiles. I saw a gray room. Let's see how long it takes for him to realize. Yeah, he just shot a missile to find out. That is a minute at least 1 whole minute time loss right there. Yeah, I saw the room with the gate was still grayed out in the map. Um, you'd know if you got the ice missiles if that room is pink. Okay, so Galamoz is gonna have to do a lot of work here if he wants to catch up. Mr. Shasta, on the other hand, will have to make sure that he does not screw up bad, therefore allowing Galamoz to catch up.
Emergency in Sector 3. Emergency in Sector 3. Emergency in Sector 3.
All right, Galamoz is on his way out of Sector 5 now. However low on missiles, you want to make sure that he can kind of at least max his health out here so they can guarantee green X drops. Meanwhile, Mr. Shasta is triggering the chat. Mr. Shasta with just slight platforming problems there. Able to recover and move on. Alright, now Galamoz is on his way to Sector 3. Don't worry, Galamoz, you got it, man. Galamoz venting his frustration in the chat. Oh no, 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 no. Mr. Shasta freezing the stretchy and is being blocked right now, so you have to shoot a little bit more missiles there to get him out of the way. If Galamoz's platforming is better than Mr. Shasta for this particular segment, he'll definitely catch up here. And you can tell which runner is going to save time or lose time here by the difference in the meltdown timer. Mr. Shasta getting one beam on his way to fight the Corex. Unable to connect on the first double. Let's see the second. Unable to connect. Okay, and he gets a double on the third try. So 419.31 posted for a wide beam for Mr. Shasta. Let's see if Galamoz can get a better time here and hopefully cut the deficit. Oh, Galamoz shooting the platform from under the stretchy, and then it has to wait. But I don't think it was as bad as Shasta, who actually froze the stretchy to block his way. Alright, Galamoz having more than enough missiles here for the Idor. And he gets a zero beam. So it looks like Galamoz might be able to catch up here, and we'll look at the time to confirm that. I don't think he's opting... Okay, he's doing a different way to do a double. I don't think he gets the first one. So it looks like it's going to be 4 shots, 4 rounds. And I think that was identical meltdown times for both. Meanwhile, Shasta is doing the stretchy climb. He did not freeze the first one, but he's able to recover, so that's okay. Alright, so it's a decent Sector 3 exit for Mr. Shasta. Now activating the navigation room computer, and he'll make his way towards the uh, animals. Animals. Why do we need animals in this game? Galamoz having a little bit of difficulty climbing, but is able to recover. So no significant setbacks yet. Oh, almost enters the next room. So whenever you accidentally enter a room, you automatically lose 2 seconds. The first second lost is the door transition going into the room, and then the next second lost is the door transition coming back from the room. So you want to make sure you don't accidentally run into other rooms. Alright, let's take a look at the RNG for Mr. Shasta coming up at the habitation deck. Going for the jump extend strat here. Able to get the shine break. And able to get the shine spark. Alright. Meanwhile, Galamoz has just entered the main deck and is on his way to the habitation deck. Animal RNG for Shasta, not so good. Maybe that was like 6 or 7 seconds. I think both runners are going to high five at one point here. Maybe at the stretchy room. Okay, maybe at the elevator room. Elevator room. There's the high five. Mr. Shasta is saying rip in chat. Maybe something happened. We don't know. Or maybe he's just saying rip to Clueless. Who knows? Surprise us. Alright, Galamoz able to get the shine break here and the shine spark. He'll have to ledge grab though. That's fine. I think slightly better. No. Wow, that last animal is taking forever. So I think for both of the runners, the animal RNG is about the same. It looked like it was promising for Galamoz when the first two came out immediately. But the last one decided to take a nap or something. If Mr. Shasta dies in an elevator, I think he will be the first ever Metroid Fusion player, whether casual or a speedrunner, to die in an elevator. Then again, I have seen stranger things. So, I'm not quite sure of the late game skills for either runners. So I'm gonna be brave here and say that Yakuza is going to be a huge factor for Galamoz if he hopes to catch up. I hope he's been practicing Yakuza, because that can definitely help him save time. I say this because on average, I lose about 20 to 30 seconds on Yakuza on an average run. So if Shasta gets bad RNG for Yakuza and a bad fight overall, while Galamoz gets good RNG and a good fight, you're going to see about a 30 to 40 second catch up here. And vice versa. If Galamoz gets the bad RNG and bad fight, while Shasta gets the good RNG and good fight, the lead will widen and will basically become almost a guaranteed win for Shasta if he maintains the lead. Uh, the run is getting closer to the end, so Galamoz will really have to pull something out of his sleeve here if he wants to win. All right, we have Shasta just picked up the power bombs and is now exiting Sector 5 and will make his way towards the ship. While Galamoz just picking up the power bomb is now going to encounter Sex. Is Shasta known for dying to Yakuza? I don't think so. All right. Mr. Shasta confident in his Yakuza fight, doing a Babe Ruth here and calling it free, basically calling his shot. Let's see if he's able to deliver. Alright, Shasta is now looking at the corpse of Ridley, who just, for some reason, decomposes and is in the spitter hallway. Able to get the speed booster and break through these blocks. Meanwhile, Galamoz is being told by Adam to return to the ship. Okay, Mr. Shasta opting not to save here. Definitely confident. Uh, we'll have to find out. Galamoz getting a nice speed jump there right on top of that elevator. Let's see if Galamoz is as lucky as Shasta for the spitter hallway. Able to get the speed booster. Good. Having 4 E-tanks, I don't think Mr. Shasta will be at any risk of dying against Yakuza unless his fight goes really, really bad. Like, horribly wrong. Shasta getting the zero beam here. Alright, let's count the rounds. 1, 2, 3. 3 rounds for Mr. Shasta. Alright. So this is where the time loss can happen if you're kind of new to the speed running. Yakuza's second phase is more of a reactive fight than it is predictive. So okay, Shasta able to get Yakuza down relatively quickly. I don't think he can land any doubles yet. No, not a single double. Oh, Galamoz also getting the zero beam. Let's see if he's as lucky with... Let's see if he gets better. So Shasta had a 3 round. Let's see if Galamoz can catch up by having better rounds here. And he gets a 1 round. Nice. So this will cut some time for sure. Now, he'll cut some time provided he has a very good second phase, and it looks like it's good right now. 1 more shot should kill him. Nice. Uh-oh. Now Galamoz is in danger of running out of missiles. He'll have to pick up a green X. Okay. He should be fine now. 1 more double ought to do it. Unable to get the double, but that's okay because Shasta was not able to get a double as well. So I think Galamoz is caught up just a little bit here. Alright, both runners now making their way towards Nettori. Shasta will have the advantage here at Nettori. The 5 seconds that he lost picking up the main deck missiles is going to pay for itself here. Galamoz will have a slightly longer fight than Shasta because he'll have to weave power bombs and charge beams while shooting missiles. Shasta will do the same thing, but not as many as Galamoz will. And Shasta having a good Nettori fight with 6 missiles to spare. He doesn't even have to farm. Oh, but he misses a missile. He'll definitely want to farm now. Oh no, the Corax is not giving him green. Okay, there you go. But he missed a round though, so Galamoz getting a 0 beam here is now on his way to fight Nettori. It's going to take Galamoz a minimum of 8 charge and power bombs before he can start spamming missiles here. 1 more ought to do it. Okay. He's kind of going overkill with it, so that's going to cost him a little bit of time. Oh, and he's out of missiles, so he'll need some green X's here. Okay. Galamoz choosing not to attempt doubles here. I think he needs 1 more shot in. Alright. So unfortunately Galamoz unable to kind of make kind of shorten the lead here. I think that Shasta's Nettori fight was slightly better. Both runners now on their way to Nightmare as we hit the 1 hour mark. Nightmare can be a problem for the inexperienced runner if they don't know how to manipulate his movement. I I'm not sure of Mr. Shasta's experience with Nightmare, um, but I haven't heard anything bad. So I think Shasta should be experienced enough that he's able to manipulate his movement and get a quick kill on Nightmare. We'll have to find out here. All right, Shasta gets the Shine Spark. And Galamoz, not that far behind, he's now on his way to Sector 5 nav room. Alright, let's see if Galamoz can get the Shine Spark here. Oh no, he gets it. He'll have to... Okay, he's gonna attempt... I don't... No, he doesn't have enough space to get the space boost here, so he'll have to do a Shine Spark from here. Oh, and he misses the speed booster. Oh no. He opts to just not. And he'll walk his way through. So that is definite time loss for Galamoz. Shasta able to get the first phase on Nightmare fairly quickly. And it looks like he's going to manipulate Nightmare well here. Good job. Oh no, it's tinking. It's too high. So he'll have to go for another roundabout. And his health, he needs to be very careful. Alright, he's setting it up well. Okay, let's try that again. Oh no, I think it is still too high. This is Galamoz's chance to catch up. This is Galamoz's chance to catch up right here. Galamoz opting for a 5th E-Tank. Alright, Galamoz getting the quick first phase. Meanwhile, Shasta, no doubles at all. Let's see if Galamoz can manipulate well here. Oh, I've never seen this kind of movement from Nightmare before. Hopefully it's a good... It is a good one. Wow! That's interesting. I've never seen that before. Let's see if Galamoz is going to try doubles here. He only has 2 missiles, so he'll need to get a green X. Okay, he's good. One more shot from the core. So whatever time Galamoz lost at attempting the Shine Spark has now been recovered with a good Nightmare fight. Ooh, I don't think Galamoz was far enough. Oh, wow, perfect. Okay. It was probably like 1 or 2 frames Uh, yeah, his speed booster was probably 1 or 2 frames off, which is really good. So I think he's Shasta's got like a 45 or 46 second lead. Galamoz is working really hard to shave time here and really try to catch up. So if you're just tuning in, I guess Shasta had a difficult nightmare fight because he on 2 occasions baited Nightmare too high up and his missiles were tinking, so he had to kind of reposition Nightmare. The upcoming boss fight is going to be Box 2. Uh, while Box 2 has no RNG involved and no manipulation, well, there is manipulation. Now, I won't say no manipulation, but when fought correctly, Box 2 can be killed at. Oh no! Galamoz freezes the balloon and is forced to wait until it thaws out. So Galamoz, once again, losing the time that he saved. Um, and I think he might be at 1 minute behind again. All right, so going back to box 2 or Xbox, um, you can kill Xbox with, I think it's 14 missiles and no 15 missiles actually, and you can shoot those 15 missiles fast enough that you will only get 1 jump out of the box. It's rather difficult to do, and it's a lot of precise shots. However, if you miss a single shot, then you're going to invoke another jump out of him. So the perfect box fight will only have 1 jump.
Warning, no entry without authorization.
All right, chess is pretty close to the box fight now. Just 2 rooms.
Warning, no entry
Meanwhile,
without
Galamoz is making his way there. Wise decision to freeze the puffers rather than to shoot or kill them, so that he doesn't take any damage from them. Alright, Shasta tinks the 2 missiles, so he'll have a longer box fight here. And I think 1 more jump ought to do it. Okay, no, he gets his last 2 diagonals in. So 2 jumps for Mr. Shasta. Galamoz about to trigger the alert.
Warning, no entry without authorization. Warning, no entry without
And
authorization.
Galamoz now on his way to fight box 2.
Warning, no entry without authorization. Warning, no entry without authorization. Warning, no entry without authorization.
Similar fight for Galamoz. So it looks like Galamoz is now going to be 50 seconds behind.
60 seconds to isolation lockdown.
The door is closing very quickly here for Galamoz with only 3 bosses left to fight. Galamoz will really have to do something here if he hopes to win. Meanwhile, Mr. Shasta is on his way to Ridley. Shasta maintaining that lead and making sure that he does not make any major mistakes here if he wants to win. While we are nearing the end of the fight, it's still Galamoz still does have a chance here. Anytime either runner is less than 1 minute behind, it can still be anyone's race. Uh, but chances are unlikely because Shasta will have to do something extraordinarily bad. Whether it's running out of missiles or having troubles with the gold pirates. I mean, there's still ways for Shasta to lose time, and Shasta will have to make sure that he maintains at least good platforming and good boss fights right now. All right, Shasta shooting the fusion missile at the 3 missile blocks in preparation for leaving through that area. All right, now he's going to enter the gold pirate room. Let's see how he fares here. Kills the first one, kills the second one, no problems. All right, let's count the eye doors here. 0. Lucky number 0, huh? Okay, Shasta going for the horizontal start here, which does not do as much damage as the diagonal. So the Ridley fight will be slightly longer than optimal here. Shasta having difficulty getting position over Ridley. Loses about half his health already. Alright, and he gets the kill on Ridley. Meanwhile, Galamoz is at the gold pirate room. Having some difficulty right now fighting the gold pirates. Kills the first one and the second one. And it looks like both players are going to high-five in the Ripper room. So 2 high-fives in one race. Galamoz having a little bit of difficulty. Okay, now he does kill Ridley. Galamaz's really fight was a little bit slower because about half, I think, about half of his shots were at Ridley's back, which doesn't do the maximum amount of damage. You want to make sure that when you're fighting Ridley, that you're shooting right through his chest from the front to make sure that all parts of the wave beam goes through him. It's kind of difficult to do that from the back because the tail can get in the way, and the tail actually blocks the wave beam shot. Shasta is on his way to speak to Adam, while Galamoz is on his way out of Ridley's area. Alright, boys and girls, get your pillows ready and your blankets. It's time for Resident Sleeper. It's a very good nap time story. Galamoz having difficulty space jumping out of that room, manages to get out, and he is now also on his way to speak to Adam. All right. We have both runners in the same cutscene. However, Mr. Shasta is at the tail end of it while Galamoz is just starting the cutscene. This shows you how long this cutscene really is. It's ridiculously long and boring. Yes, if you're just joining us, there's about 5 more minutes left in the run. Maybe 6 or 7. I think 7 more minutes. Or 6. There's 2 bosses left. And then after that, it'll be GG. Alright, we have Mr. Shasta entering the main deck, where he will square off with legendary SAX Stream in a no holds barred, all weapons unlocked deathmatch. Galamoz finally getting out of the really long cutscene. Alright, let's see what kind of fight Shasta is going to put up here. Gets the first freeze. This is, okay, he's going for the horizontal strat, which is not as optimal as the diagonal strat. However, it's still effective. Because we're still shooting the SAX while it is frozen, ensuring maximum damage. Shasta not able to get the quick kill on the mutated form though, so just a few more shots in and he'll call it good. Shasta missing on the first double, missing on the second double, missing the third double. Low on health, he'll need to be careful here. Okay, he decides to no longer attempt doubles due to health issues and gets 6 rounds on the Ice Axe.
Propulsion sequence active.
Now Shasta's activated the 3-minute timer.
388.
Is going to leave the space station.
Destination planet SR 388.
Alright, let's check out what kind of fight we're going to get from Galamoz here. Triggering the SAX fight. Goes for the horizontal strats as well. Alright, decent fight from Galamoz and has space to set up the quick kill here. Alright, and he gets 2-shot on the mutated form. I think that's a miss on the first double. May have connected the second double, we'll see. It's 3 shots. 4, 5. No, he did not get that second double or the first one. Meanwhile, Shasta now fighting the Omega Metroid with just about 2 minutes left until the space station crashes onto SR388. Looking at the timers for both runners, the lead is 56 seconds, I believe. Shasta setting up the stun lock and the quick kill, and Omega is down. This is a win for Shasta. Or, you know, he can wait for Galamoz. He doesn't have to enter the ship. Alright, and it looks like Shasta is the winner here. Just let me confirm. Shasta does a done and is finished in first place with a time of 1:22:31, according to IRC. Galamoz, that looks like a low height. It is. Very nice low height. And let's see if Galamoz can set up the quick kill here and the stun lock. And he does. Oh no, he does not. Was not fast enough. He was in position, but he did not shoot enough ice beams. He's just going to go ahead and tank the boss here. He has 5 E-tanks, so he should be fine. And Omega is down. Galamoz does a done, and he is finished in second place with a time of 1:24:06. GG's to both runners. Nobody died, and it was a good race. All right, welcome, Mr. Shasta. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
And it looks like you're going to move on here to face Kirby Master.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's all right. Welcome. A lot on your plate.
Yeah, I have to play well and down for sure. Unlike this run right here, but we're not gonna talk about that. I was ready to talk about that. I guess that's like things to talk about, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean it was a close race until Galamoz pulled the secret key, unfortunately, and I think Galamoz actually finished within 1 minute. So when you do a secret key, depending on where you realize it and you turn back, kind of determines the time loss. When you're in the room just before the recharge room, uh, it's about a minute time loss. And up until that point, you guys were actually neck and neck. So I think that if he did not pull the secret key and got the ice missiles when he was supposed to, this would have been, it could have been anyone's race. So luckily for you, he did. But unfortunate for Galamoz, uh, there was a point where he chopped that 1 minute lead down to almost 30 seconds. And
Really?
yeah, it was when he caught up to you with a better Yakuza fight and a better Nightmare fight.
Oh yeah, those were really horrible for me. Also, I didn't get either of the double missiles on the Plasma Beam Core X. Usually I'm really good about that, but I got none of them this time. Because I misinput a few times. It happens.
Yeah. So, any plans or any strategy that you're going to implement for the next race?
Play better, first off.
All right.
But yeah, mostly I just was playing really sloppy the entire time. Next race for sure, I'm gonna get some more practice in beforehand. And definitely do a lot more runs, that's for sure. I'm doing a lot of runs recently, but on the Japanese version. I think maybe switching the language might mess me up a little bit. But I really have no idea.
Okay. Fun fact here: Kirby Master on his very first race against Metroid Master posted a time of 1:20:57, which is slower than your time right now.
Ooh, I got a chance.
Yeah. And then in his second race, he posted a 1:20:33. No, wait a minute. 1:20:57 is not slower than your 1:22. I'm seeing things, but it looks like it's not as fast as he once was, and this can be due to being rusty. I don't think that Kirby Master has been de-rusting or practicing fusion for the tournament.
I don't think he has either. I can tell my son best right now is a 1:20:13. But I got a lot of goals what's in that last run though. Even though it was
Nice.
overall just not that good. So like anything can happen, I guess, if I play optimally. Which I think I honestly can at this point. I'm pushing to 48 right now in Japanese version, so we'll see what can happen with that.
Yeah, so I mean, you'll really have to do your best. I mean, it's not, you're not, basically out. I mean, just looking at the times, it looks like you do have a chance.
Let's say theoretically I do win against Kirby Master. Who do I face next after that?
It would be the winner of Axedo and Mandatobi, so you'll have a break.
Oh.
After playing against someone really good, you'll kind of have a decent break with lower seeded opponents.
That's good at least.
So who just jumped in?
JRP did. Gal was in the stage for some reason.
I can't move him over.
I can't either. I think JRP can. JRP, can you move Gal over here to commentary? Thank you.
All right, Galamoz. Really unfortunate with the secret key.
Yes, I know. You know what happened? I was
feel
just listening to the stream, and I was just like zoning out a little bit, and I was like, you know that room before emergency and frequency?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think the nightmare is supposed to fly in the background, and I was like, something's wrong is going on, but I can't tell what it is. And I keep going, and I'm like, where's the emergency and frequency? And that's when I realized, and I was like, oh no, of all places.
But you were actually you were playing well enough that you were actually catching up. You had a better Yakuza fight and you had a better Nightmare fight.
Oh, my Nightmare fight was horrible.
Yeah.
It was like the worst I've ever done.
I think that if you actually connected the Shine Spark in Sector 5, you might have had you might have actually had a chance to regain the lead.
Yeah, I had like
because
4 gold splits during this run,
wow,
and that would have been like the 5th if I actually got that Shine Spark. But I just like messed that up.
so yeah, it was unfortunate, but I mean, it was a good run. I mean, you definitely didn't give up, and you were showing signs of catching up. I think it was just too late in the game for you to actually, get the lead back after being a minute behind due to the secret key. So
Yeah.
that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, and my late game's not quite as good either.
I'm not sure how much time we have left. So I'll just ask you one more question.